Hi everyone, I'm Rob Pottorf. I'm a composer for film and television and commercials. And today I'm going to be working on a spot for Contrast Creative. They've been a client of mine for many years, and out of that we've established a very good friendship, and I always enjoy working with them. The particular spot that I'm going to be working on today is a public service announcement for strokes.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Approaching a commercial is really no different than doing long form, whether it's television or feature film. You basically kind of have to look at the picture and decide A, who your target audience is, and B, what story are you trying to tell. And this is kind of how I do it. Alright, first of all, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the picture all by itself. There's obviously no music, it's just dialogue and effects.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Veggie dip?
Don't ignore.
So as you can see, there's really no action going on other than what's going on the screen as far as audio goes. So it's my job to look at the picture and say, okay, now how do I tell a story out of this? Well, the first thing for me that's the easiest to do, especially in this spot, looking at it, is when it first starts, we see it's a party scene. So the easiest thing for me to do is put party music right behind it. So what I did is I created a little piece of music and I EQ'd it and put some effects on it to make it sound like it's more in the background. So that way it doesn't sound like it's part of the score itself. I just want it to be incidental, in the background, not real noticeable, just like you were at a party. So this is what it sounds like.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
So it's that short, it's just very little, but it gives you a sense that you're in their home, you're at the party, everybody's having a good time. Now the next part, after we get the party music going and we've established where it's at and what's happening, now I can go ahead and hit the first emotional hit of this piece, which is where we see her hold her head. We know something's wrong. So for me, the easiest thing to do is to take an effect called aleatoric strings, and what that basically means, it's violins and then they all start splitting into different directions and they sound really creepy. For example, where are my aleatoric? There we are. If you hear this string sound right there, I can move that slider and I can make all those strings do really crazy, wacky things. So, let's watch picture and see how this works.
Are you okay?
Veggie dip?
Don't ignore.
So there's your first emotional hit of the piece. Now from this point forward I sort of take direction from Contrast Creative as far as the type of emphasis that they want on certain shots. In the case of this next little effect that I put on, Kathleen McDonald told me that she wanted this kind of swirling type of sound when the word dizziness comes up on screen, because it's sort of a shaky kind of font thing. So I go into my trusty bag of music effects and tricks, and I pulled out this little sound that sounds something like this. And here. So you got a nice little moving movement, and what I can do with that is give it a couple different notes. And you'll hear what it sounds like in here.
You okay?
Veggie dip?
Don't ignore.
It's just that easy. Okay, now that we've got the very beginning of this and we've set up what this commercial is and we've established that something is wrong, now it's time to add some musical element to it. And basically what I do is I look at picture and I try to find a spot that I as a composer can actually write some music into it instead of just doing musical effects, which is what we've done pretty much up to this point. You'll see here that when the daughter comes in and says, "Mom, are you okay?" that's the first time that we can actually create some movement in this piece and make it actually interesting for the viewer. So let's go ahead and play that.
You okay?
I'm fine. Veggie dip?
Don't ignore. The signs
I'm fine.
of a stroke.
I'm fine.
Mom, are you okay?
Or take the symptoms lying down. Quick action can reduce or even reverse permanent damage. Call 911. Your brain, your life. Make every second count.
So that's the entire piece as a whole. I'd like to thank you for stopping by today. I hope you've learned a little bit more about what this process is. Actually, most people think I just sit down here in a dark room for hours upon end drinking coffee. And actually, that's not too far from the truth. But if you do have any musical needs, feel free to look me up on the internet at www.rpmusic.com. You'll be able to hear any feature films that I've done. I've worked for 20th Century Fox, Lionsgate. I do a lot of work for Disney. I do a lot of commercial work for Contrast Creative. So any needs you might have, drop me a line. And I'd also like to personally thank Kathleen McDonald and Tim Travitz at Contrast Creative for trusting me for these many years. And we've done a lot of fun projects, and I'm looking forward to a lot more. Thanks.